Hey guys, it's Mana here, and we are back with more Lucid9. I'm going to make this episode a little bit longer than I normally do. I try to keep it about 10-15 minutes, but it's taken us a while to get through the story, and I know there's like 10 hours worth of story to get through, and it's going to take us a really long time if I keep doing it that short. So, we're going to jump right back in. This episode is going to be a little longer. Let me know what you think. If you like them a little longer, or if you prefer them short, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. It really helps me out to get some feedback, because silence doesn't tell me anything at all. Sorry. I quickly whip around and come face to face with the object of my search, a bright-eyed girl bubbling with energy, as demonstrated by her tendency to bounce on the balls of her feet. Hey, Akira. It's been a while, Sarge. I can't help but sigh. I can sense that the ensuing conversation will be a very long and difficult one. My name isn't Sarge. I never said it was. Then why do you keep calling me Sarge? Because Sarge is short for Sergeant. Sergeant. Okay. She stops, as if that's an adept explanation. Adequate. My bad. And I'm hungry, so let's get some food. She skips to the buffet table to swipe her card. This girl. It's impossible to get a straight answer out of her. Akira is an interesting case. She and Rui joined drama club last year. That's how they became friends, or so they claim. It didn't take long for them to become close, and this year they're rooming together. Akira? Well, if I had to describe her, I'd say she's free-spirited, doing her own thing, off in her own world. She doesn't really associate with us much, just Rui. She's a bit eccentric, though, I suppose, in a refreshing way. I suppose. When we've gotten our food, Akira makes her way to an obscure corner of the cafeteria and digs through her bag, pulling out a green and white plaid blanket with a flourish. I present to you, Attente Diana Helsen, whatever. I don't have the energy for that right now. I crane my neck, trying to peek into her bag. Where? Here. She shakes the blanket. The blanket? Oh, don't be rude. How would you feel if Annette Diana Helsen called you the human all the time? Use her name. I'm not going through all that effort just to spare the feelings of an inanimate object. She frowns at me, but gently lays the blanket on the floor. Don't come crying if Annette Diana Helsen exacts retribution on you for the grave insult you've just made. I'm sure I'll live. Akira only shrugs and settles on the blanket. A few students in the background send us bewildering glances. Why don't we just sit at a table? Why don't we just sit on the ground? Chairs are meant to be sat on. So is the ground. What? Fine, you sit on the ground. I'll sit at the table. Akira sighs and obligingly stuffs Annette Diana Helsen back into her bag. You know, if Rui and I are like peas in a pod, you're like this awkward leaf that's growing really far down the stem. I see you all the time, but we never actually hang out. That's not really fair. You choose not to hang out with us. On second thought, I'm not sure if I'd be able to handle Akira on a daily basis. Aw, Sarge, I never said it was your fault. Right. I gather myself as Akira takes a seat beside me and starts to dig in. The ankle incident. Just ask her about the ankle incident, and this whole nightmare will be over. Something interesting happened today. Did you pretend that you were a cross-dressing duchess? What? Guess not. Too bad. That would have definitely been interesting. Most brains have interconnected neurons, but I'm beginning to think that Akira's brain is structured without rhyme or reason. No. Rui tripped and injured her ankle. Oh no! Well, I don't think she actually injured it. She was running around on it just a few minutes later. Did you carry her? Yeah. Piggyback? Why does that matter? Oh, the healing power of true love. How I envy your bond. You see, love is like antidepressants with herbal infusions. Most of the time, people just get involved so that they feel good, regardless of the actual result. But sometimes, if your bond is truly deep, it can actually physically heal you. Only sometimes, though, like maybe less than 0.0016%. I carried her bridal style, actually. Bridal style? 10 minutes. 10 times the healing power. 10 times the bond. Like a covalent bond, or ionic, depending on the properties. Her way of thinking is impressive, honestly. I don't even know how she makes these associations. Look, Acura. Can you just give me a straight answer? The angle of an answer is irrelevant, since an answer is an abstract concept, and therefore is not subject to angles in the first place. Right. Did you have anything to do with Rui pretending to injure her ankle? I plead the fifth. Isn't that American? Oh, right. I plead the 38th. I can only sigh at this. Acura definitely had something to do with it. If past examples are anything to go by, she probably formed an elaborate plan and managed to convince Rui to go along with it. Look, I know Rui's your friend, but stop trying to matchmake us. Honestly, it's getting a little annoying. Just like how you pretend that you don't notice Rui's feelings. I take back everything I said about Acura being refreshing. She isn't refreshing at all. She's a meddler. Look, it isn't exactly your business. Can you just stay out of it? Oh, but it is my business. More than you might think. That sounds ominous. Still, it'll end up hurting Rui. Do you want that? Why would Rui get hurt? Just let me deal with it, okay? It's already complicated enough. It doesn't have to be. This is just too much trouble. Look, Acura, what you're doing will only end up hurting Rui. If you just want to bug me, that's fine, but leave Rui out of it. I scoop up my dishes and leave the table before she has a chance to speak. Maybe it's rude, but I'm not encouraging any delusional fantasies regarding Rui and me. I head back to the classroom, spending the rest of lunch period half-heartedly studying. Afternoon classes pass by uneventfully. Elizabeth seems to be in a good mood from the praise of her groupies. She completely ignores me instead of hassling me. Yahiko is unusually quiet. Even Misaki is all but silent. From her clouded expression, I'd guess that her discussion with Rui didn't go too well. When the bell rings, I'm almost unsettled at how quiet the day was. The lull of the afternoon seems to settle in every crevice of the room, bringing a haze of sleep with it. The teacher's voice slips into an indiscernible drone as every student struggles to keep their eyes open for a few remaining minutes of school. Understood? All right, homeroom dismissed. Immediately, everyone bolts to their feet, chatting amiably as they make their way out of the classroom. Only the 4th day of school, and we're already sick of it. I guess that's the 3rd year for you. Oh, hey, Misaki, did you see the new episode of Grover Mecker yesterday? Why, of course, I tuned into the live stream the moment it opened. Oh, wow, it's the Unexpected BFFs. So, what did you think? Well, when I saw President J. Graves spontaneously... Wait, sorry, no spoilers. You know, since Yama might not have seen it yet. Oh, right. How exceedingly generous of him. I thought it was entertaining, as always. It was the best episode so far, wasn't it? It definitely was. Well, no offense, but I don't think the bar is set very high. What's this, man? Did you get a real girlfriend? A wild Masato appears. Masato, my man, how is your vengeance? Wait, what? Some punk paid a group of boys to bully Masato's little brother because he hates Masato. But I bet that Masa gave him a taste of his own medicine. Hell yeah, I did. You pick a fight with one Kurogane, you pick a fight with all of them. Wait. Won't you get in trouble for hitting him? He'll definitely tattle on you. Hit him. Nah, man, I locked him in a room and taught him the clustered decomposition theorem. Made him write a paper on it in one sitting. Somehow that sounds a lot more horrifying than just getting beat up. Hi, I don't think we've met. Who are you? I transferred here yesterday. Misaki Kazahaya, at your service. She's super cool. She watches Grover Becker, and she's a model. Huh, that's cool. Name's Masato Kuragane. I'm on the track team. He stops there. We wait for a moment, expecting a more elaborate introduction. And what? That's all that matters, ain't it? Not the fact that he's the president of the honors club, or one of the top students in school, or third year. I take it you enjoy track, then? Hell yeah. Track is like water. Without it, you die. Track is like air. Without it, you die. Track is like fried chicken. Without it, you die. That's some dedication. Yep, and I'm staying this way, or my name's Yama Ishimoto. That was uncalled for. Well, as long as you keep at it, I'm sure you can accomplish anything. It says every cliche movie ever. They ignore me and firmly shake hands. Looks like she's becoming friends with everyone. Everyone except Rui, ironically enough. So, how do y'all know each other? She, Yama, and Rui are childhood friends, actually. Oh, real? Why ain't Rui here, then? An awkward silence falls between Misaki and I, with a hapless Yahiko in the middle. Huh? Now that you mention it, she should be here by now. You don't think she got called for cleanup duty, do you? We don't have cleanup duty, Yahiko. The school pays for janitors. Oh, that would explain a lot. How many years has he been at this school again? Hold on. Someone give me a straight answer. Where's Rui? Misaki clears her throat and steels herself. We're not in the best of terms at the moment, but I'm working to resolve the issues as soon as possible. You sound like you're debugging some code, Miki. But it's true. We're not getting along particularly well. Masato inches away from her, suddenly cautious. Huh. I see. See what? You guys were just getting along. Masato turns to Miki with a grave expression. I don't know, man. Something about you seems sus. That's kind of harsh, but at least he told her up front. What? I should have seen it earlier, but yeah. You're too nice. Don't you work in the modeling industry? Ain't you supposed to be cutthroat and all that? It's not like I'm some kind of dastardly mastermind. Then what's the deal with you and Rui? I'd like to know that myself. She's the one ignoring me. They both stare each other down. None of us budge. Ah, hell, I don't know. I'm going to track. He strides out of the classroom without any farewells or apologies. That was strange. Sorry about that, Misaki. Masa's not usually like that. Maybe he ate something funny. I doubt it. Well, this just got awkward. First Rui, now Masato's pushing Miki out into the cold. Usually they're the warmest and most inclusive people I know, but this time? Something saved me. Anything? Ooh. Huh? That was convenient. Blip. I have 3 new messages. Oh. Cafe de la Pax, 5 p.m. Do not dare to be late, or I shall dock your pay. Also, I insist you share your location with me. I'll go ahead and assume that this is from Shigure. Divine Master, that's what she put herself on the phone as. Wait, isn't this on a volunteer basis? What kind of pay am I getting? And the final message. Wait a minute. Does your phone even support location sharing? The answer is immediate. Yes. But it's so old. Some implements improve with age, Ishiyama. Unlike your brain, I predict. Why am I working for this woman again? Whatever. I mashed a few buttons to share my location with her. It's not like she'll break into my house and steal my stuff, right? Since she's a detective in an official capacity, she'd get in a lot of trouble. Wait, why am I legitimately entertaining this idea? Ah, this woman terrifies me. Dude, why are you smiling? Huh? Smiling? Grinning, as a matter of fact. Grimacing, not grinning. There's a big difference. Sorry, but something came up. Turns out I have to go. Oh, that's fine. I have my club to see to. Oh, you have a club? Yeah, it just started. Want to join? It's called the Happy Club. Sorry, but my work schedule limits my ability to participate in clubs. Oh, well, that makes sense. Wow, smooth. She should go into politics. Who in their right mind would actually want to join a group called the Happy Club? Then, ladies and gentle fellows, I shall be off. See ya! Bye, Yahiko. You too, Misaki. Have a great rest of the day, Yama. And with that, we manage to barely salvage the awkward atmosphere as we go our separate ways. I pull up this Café de la Pax on my phone and find that it's on the same street as GFFC. C, not F. Well, that makes this an easy walk, unless, of course, she's referring to the other Café de la Pax, which is on the far away border of District 8. Might as well try the closest one first. Shiguri doesn't seem like the type to go out of her way just to make me miserable. Or rather, she doesn't seem like the type to inconvenience herself. There are cliques of academy students throughout the streets, girls immersed in superficial gossip and guys exchanging ridiculous stares. I pass by a handful of police officers on the way. They nod courteously, but there's a shadow to their evaluating gazes. I keep my stride long and my steps quick as I round the corner to the denoted rendezvous point. When I first see the place, I have to double-check my phone to make sure I didn't take a wrong turn somewhere. By the quaint, lovely name, I was expecting some charming variation of the polished, established Buckstar Coffee House. Instead, I met with the definition of modest: chipped paint, dusty windows, and a swaying sign with 3 broken letters. Maybe this is Shiguri's way of extracting vengeance. I take a deep breath before I enter the cafe. Surprisingly, the place is really decent on the inside. Sophisticated and sleek, the array of elegant furniture is punctuated by the black grand piano along the far wall of the cafe. A delectable smell of butter and sugar drifts from the counter of the shop, where several intricate glass displays boast rows of unique pastries reminiscent of a fairy tale world. Welcome. May I take your order? The cashier greets me with a smile, drawing me to the front counter. Wait a minute. Isn't she... You're... Come to think of it, I've never seen where she goes after class ends. Of all people, it would be you. Consider it your lucky day. Just give me your order. This situation is just too good to pass up. Elizabeth, a cashier? Do enlighten me. Why would such a wealthy, empowered young woman stoop to making lattes and washing dishes? Work experience, obviously. Every successful person comes from humble beginnings. I might believe her, but the way she's averting her eyes is suspicious. So why didn't your parents get you some cushy internship at your dream corporation? You know, some people want to earn their success instead of being spoon-fed by their parents. But being spoon-fed is much easier. I've learned by now that comments like this will tick off Elizabeth more than actual insults. Sure enough, it works. You're insufferable. What's that? I should complain to customer service about the abusive cashier? Just order already. As I lazily glance over the pastry displays, a flicker of motion catches my eye. It's the girl who always hangs around Elizabeth, an ordinary student settled in the corner, elbow propped up on her table, eyes glinting in amusement as she absentmindedly twirls a pencil between her fingers. Her back is slouched, her smile carefree, but there's something that seems a little odd about her. Elizabeth seems to notice my switch of attention and clears her throat. Are you going to order, or are you going to waste space like always? Oh, give me a moment, Beth. I glance at the book that's lying open-faced on her table, Advanced English Syntax and Grammatical Principles, version 3. That's the same text that I have for English. She must also be a 3rd year, but in a different class. Head tilted slightly, eyebrows raised just barely. I get the impression that she's studying me just as hard as I'm studying her. Who are you? Isn't it courteous to introduce yourself before you demand my identity? As your buddy Lizzie has probably told you, courtesy isn't my strong suit. Oh, then what is? Nothing. Just a bit of friendly advice, Beth, but you may want to watch your step around this one. What makes you say that? Why, he's figured you out. This elicits an unusual reaction from Elizabeth. Bitten lips, fiddling hands, and an anxious shift of the eyes. Odd. I don't recall figuring out anything. Well, Yama, why don't you give Beth a little grace? Her eyes are twinkling at me, challengingly, like she knows I don't know, but wants me to figure it out. Why should she do that? Why isn't she taking Elizabeth's side? Fine, I'll apologize. Just don't tell anyone. Well, now I really have no clue what's going on, but I might as well go along with it. Yeah, why shouldn't I? She seemed at a loss of words. I can't help but grin. You'll pay me? You know I can't. That catches me off guard, but thankfully I'm able to hide my expression just in time. Interesting, she can't pay. That can only mean that she's not as high and mighty as she pretends to be. Maybe her spending is restricted by her parents, or maybe she's legitimately poor. This just gets better and better. So, is that big of a deal if everyone finds out? Don't even think about it. Yep, definitely not the rich, perfect princess that everyone was led to believe she was. Say pretty please with the cherry on top. Pretty please? Cherry on top? As begging goes, this is subpar, but I decide to let it go. I don't plan on making her life miserable. It's more of a power thing. With blackmail hanging over her head, she'll finally stop bothering me. I turn from the counter to survey the pastry case. Elizabeth's shoulders drop in relief. The girl at the table loses interest and returns to fiddling with her pencil. You never did tell me your name. Am I obliged to? As you said, it's common courtesy. Now when did I say I was courteous? She brushes her pencil into her bag and slings it over her shoulder, winking at Elizabeth. I'll see you later, Beth. And Yama, play nice. She floats out of the cafe without another word, shutting the door softly behind her. Come to think of it, how did she know my name? She probably learned it from Elizabeth. Said Elizabeth rings up my order of 3 pastries and a smoothie as I spend a few minutes pondering this strange girl. What's her name? Why do you want to know? Is it really that big of a deal? Elizabeth sighs in clear exasperation. Her name is Natsuki Tanaka. Now you can hit on her. Congratulations. I lean on the counter until my face is an inch from hers. What makes you think she's the one I want to hit on? Elizabeth glances away, instinctively disturbed by my proximity. Right as I'm about to feel a rush of triumph, I catch a slight scent, country lavender with a hint of vanilla. It's oddly magnetic. I'm suddenly bulldozed by a sensory onslaught. I can see the curl of her long lashes, the gleam of her eyes, every perfectly tapered point of every hair, the subtle curve of her lips. I stagger backward, fighting against the images in my head. I need to get a hold of myself. This is Elizabeth. She's always been pretty. Why let it mess with me now? In a shaky attempt to cover my slip-up, I shove a bill forward. Keep the change. Elizabeth elegantly plucks the bill from my hand, and before I can process what's happening, she's wrapped her fingers around my collar, pulling me forward. For a few painful seconds, she stays there, her lips an inch away from my jawline. Keep the change? Oh, keep what change? You didn't give me enough in the first place. She releases me, and I glance at the bill I've handed her. Only 1,000 yen. Crap, she's right. I feel a blush flare at my cheeks as I slide another bill to her. The corners of her mouth pull up just slightly. Careful, wouldn't want everyone to know that you're actually poor, would you? Yeah. She's genuinely genuinely amused as she passes me my order and bustles off to make my smoothie. I hate to admit it, but she doesn't look bad when she smiles. Get a grip, Yama. This is Elizabeth, who hounded you all of last year. The Elizabeth who keeps butting into things that aren't her business. The Elizabeth who believes that everything is in her control. That Elizabeth. And on that note, guys, I'm going to call it here, and we will pick up where we left off. Again, please let me know what you think of the longer episodes, or if you'd like me to keep them shorter, down in the comments below. I really appreciate it. The feedback really does help. So until next time, I'm logging off now. I'll see you guys later. And remember to do something nice for a stranger today. You may just save a life. Bye! Ow, my wrist popped.